Guys, as you may have seen in the thumbnail, today we are looking at the WE, or Cybergun, Colt 25. Very little pocket pistol. We can see it has all the Cybergun stuff on the back here. I was very, very surprised that they released this because it doesn't really make a lot of sense for skirmishing, but as a replica, it's fantastic. So let's open the box and see what we get. So as you can see in here, here is our fully licensed Colt Junior 25. So let's take it out of the box and take the magazine out. And here we go. Now, I think I'm actually going to zoom you guys in a bit. Here is our Colt 25. You can see the markings on the side. Colt, Hartford, CT, USA, and the little horse. You've got the Colt horse on that side there, and on the other side, Colt automatic caliber 25. And also the serial number. No idea if this serial number is legit. It does look like it's lasered in rather than actually sort of engraved. So it could be legit. I've no idea though, because I haven't looked into it, to be fair. We can also see here we've got our very diddy little magazine. Now, if we put this into perspective, if we look at a Glock 19 magazine, look at the difference in size. Clip on its end. Look at the difference. So, I mean, that is a small magazine. You know, that's not a full size. That is a Glock 19 magazine. And this is absolutely diddy by comparison. So, let's have a little look further into this then. Now, it's got a little widget in here at the moment, which I'm going to take out, which just basically comes with the pistol, which enables you to dry fire it. Because this does have a drop-on empty system where it will just click rather than locking back. This pistol has no slide lock. So on here you can see we've got a few controls. You've got our mag release at the bottom on the heel there, which is the button. We've also got your safety switch, which also doubles as being able to lock the slide back. And the reason why you would need to do that is upon disassembly, which I will show you shortly. Other than that, obviously you've got your hammer at the back there. And notice, you can't pull the trigger. You can only pull the trigger with the magazine installed, which again is just going to drop. So you can see I can't dry fire it without actually having BBs in it, or that little widget that it comes with. You can see I've gone for the black version. I did quite like the silver, but the black I thought was a really nice finish. It is a very glossy finish. It is paint, I believe, or anodization, but it is very good. Really, really nice. And, you know, the trades look fantastic on it as well. They've done a really nice job of all the trades. Even the little horse emblem in the grip is really, really nice. Now, magazine-wise, it holds 7 rounds. Which is pretty pathetic, really. And in Airsoft, it doesn't really have much of a use, if you like. But I have seen people running these sort of on a drum magazine or something, which is, you know, crazy on HPA. But it's sort of the type of thing where, you know, it's a bit of a joke, really. If you were to pull this out and, you know, end someone on the field, it would be, you know, laughed off if you're able to do that. So anyway, yeah, magazine, a very small amount of gas in here, obviously, but it's plenty to run the action here. It is a tiny little nozzle, and I'll show you that when we take the pistol apart. Talking of taking the pistol apart, let's do that now. Okay, so let's strip this apart then. So it's a unique way to take this apart and actually replicates the original pistol really, really well. So basically what you have to do, hammer cocked, push the slide all the way to the rear and rotate this round to lock the slide off. Once you've done that, you need to rotate the barrel. You can see it moves quite freely there. 90 degrees. And you see, if you look from the front here, you can see it's slightly larger on the bottom. You rotate it 90 degrees like so. And you can then extract the barrel. And basically, as you go to remove it, you have to then rotate it from that position back. So the barrel is straight again, to be able to extract it the last little way, because the opening on the slide is only big enough that way. If we look at the outer barrel, you can see it's a tiny thing. It's literally this long. And you can see there's our hop adjustment, the little flathead screw on the top of the outer barrel there. I mean, the hop works, I guess. It's, you know, not brilliant because, well, it wouldn't be. It's tiny. So I don't think it's a normal VSR. I actually never had it apart to check. So no idea. I've never messed with it. But, you know, there's your barrel. Now, to remove the rest, all you do is push back slightly, rotate that back round, and then allow the slide to come all the way forwards. There's your lower, and you can see here, very, very small screws and springs and all kinds. You can actually get this to fire by pressing on the inside. There is a little sort of thing which allows the hammer to fall. I'm not going to do it now, though, because obviously it's not got anything there to stop it falling forwards. But needless to say, it's a pretty robust system. It doesn't really, you know, it's not a very strong hammer spring, so it works fine. You can see here that on the top of the lower, there are these lugs here, which is what this rotates into and locks into place. So what you're effectively doing is rotating this round so you can then slide this forward. So looking at the slide, you can see we've got our recoil spring and the guide, and the spring is actually quite tough for such a little spring. It is very, very tough, slightly flared on the end here as well. It's sort of pinched in place so it doesn't move anyway. And then we have our slide. Now this is a really nicely made slide. It is cast, but there are definitely some kind of CNCing going in sort of somewhere in here. You can also see the nozzle is absolutely tiny. It's got like a little square nozzle seal on the back there, which is like a cup type. But as you can see, that nozzle is absolutely tiny. To give it into some kind of perspective, there is my thumbnail. You can see that the nozzle is, you know, it extends down into here, but it's only sort of, you know, about as long as one knuckle on my thumb. You know, it is absolutely tiny. To extract it, there's one screw here, and then that whole assembly just drops out. I haven't done it yet though, because, well, I haven't needed to. But it is a very robust system. The slide is really, really nicely made and really thick in areas that it probably didn't need to be fair. It could have been a lot thinner than it is, but it's really, really well made. So to reassemble, push the recoil spring back into there. Offer the slide up, start to slide it on. You also want to make sure that that recoil sort of spring goes into position. There is a particular recess for it to go into. And then again, just slide the slide all the way back, lock that off. Barrel goes in, rotate 90 degrees, bit of a wiggle, and it'll go all the way back, and then rotate it 90 degrees again. Release the slide, and there we go. We're all in. So let's chrono it, see what we get. Okay guys, so we've got the magazine loaded now. We've only got 4 rounds in here because we don't need any more than that just to test the FPS. Using green gas, these are .20s, industry standard. So, okay. 234.5, 229.2, 229.2, 225.9, empty. So we're pushing 0.47 joule, so like half a joule. It's low, but I mean, look at the size of the barrel. You know, you can't really expect any more than that. But there we go. So if you're thinking of getting one of these as like a cool little toy to mess around with, it's great. Honestly, really, really nicely made. Really impressive that they went to the detail they did. I mean, they really didn't need to go into the detail, or even make this, to be fair. The fact they did, it's great. Really, really impressed that they did it, and really, really impressed at how they made it. You know, they didn't have to do the stop on empty either. You know, they did engineer that in. So yeah, It's a fantastic little bit of kit. If you're thinking of getting one, yeah, why not? As far as upgrades for these, obviously you could do barrel and hop rubber. I'm not sure if they are VSR or not. Obviously, if someone wants me to check, do let me know in the comments and I can do a video just checking that out. There are a few companies which do a couple of little upgrades for these. Obviously, you can get the HPA adapters and stuff. But there is a option which I think would be much more suitable for some people who do want to actually use these a bit more. Now, there's a company which sell a threaded outer barrel for this, which would mean you could run a suppressor, which would mean you could run a much longer inner barrel. And that would obviously make this much more skirmishable, even if you do only have 7 rounds. But, you know, it's something. So that's potentially an option. But other than that, that is the Cybergun Colt 25. Any questions, obviously feel free to fire away in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next one.